Monica and Martina in Atlantic City. Seles won the first set 6-3, leads 2 games to 1 with a break here in the second. And she'll be serving. We are live from the Convention Center.
As Navratilova walked into here and saw the height of this joint, she said, well, good place to lob.
Well, she launched up a perfect one to win the last game.
She's only lost 8 on serve, and 4 of them were double faults. Navratilova didn't even have to play them.
Too good.
See Monica, well, watch this point again. In that close-up look at her service there from floor level, she has put on 2 inches, and so is serving with more power, and we've seen some of that in this match so far. The physical therapist and fitness expert John Atkins, who works with Dr. Richard Stedman out in Vail, says that she's put on 5 or 6 pounds of new muscle. And he feels that she is in excellent condition already, not match tough conditioning, but physically is very fit indeed.
I'm not sure she's going to come back.
Martina just took herself right off the court chasing that ball.
Knocked into a couple of centurions on the way, as often happens at a tennis match. She's game.
Run.
Ran out of court there. 30-15. Really a lot easier for a righty to attack Monica Seles than a lefty, because you can serve to her backhand, and cross-court forehands go to her backhand. Graf, for instance, used to hit her inside-out forehand once she got Seles out of court. Martina's got none of that. She's a lefty.
Three games to 1, Seles. Martina taking that one in the air and knocking it long. 6-3, 3-1 Monica Seles. Service coming to Navratilova.
Keep in mind that Navratilova is a screaming liberal. So, I guess she's not coming up with the goods during the Clinton administration. Her best years were in '83 and '84. She was every bit as dominant in the early '80s as Seles was in the early '90s. In 1983, she lost 1 match.
There may be smiles out there as befit this occasion, and 2 friends and the woman who influenced Monica to come back to the tour, but you know darn well that Martina Navratilova does not like this score very much at all. She's going to fight to the end here. Try and turn this around. 30-15. More than twice the winners
from Seles. There's one for Navratilova. Put one more up on the board. That's pretty nicely done, isn't it? Again, the Seles serve and the Seles return are so big, you've got to work your way into the net against her.
So Martina holds on. It's 3-2, Navratilova, second set.
I'm using Pam, the only leading all-natural cooking spray to cook a low-fat feast. Pam is all-natural. It doesn't change the flavor of my good food. To me, it's worth it. For good eating. Pam.
Toast time. 5 incredible years.
20th Century Fox presents
I'm pregnant.
what the movie critics are calling sensational.
It's a boy.
That means presumably you can actually see his whatnot.
Perfect.
For a family.
Heartwarming.
It was a bit tense, so I thought we'd have a bit of dancing here.
Irresistible. From the director of Mrs. Doubtfire, 9 months. Rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
They are not sisters. They are not classmates. They are not friends. They are not even the girls' team. They're a pack of wolves. Tend to your sheep.
Taste this. It's something different for your sensitive teeth.
Tastes great, but my dentist wants me to use Sensodyne.
This is Sensodyne. Sensodyne Cool Gel.
Hey, no pain. All I feel is cool and clean.
Sensodyne Cool Gel. All you feel is cool and clean.
Next on CBS Sports, second round coverage of the Ameritech Senior Open from Stonebridge Country Club in Aurora, Illinois. Joe Jimenez had a course record 62 today. He's in the clubhouse, 8 under par, tied with Hale Irwin, who's played only 5 holes. Jim Colbert giving Gilbert a stroke back. 3-2, Seles serving up a break here in the second set, and she has a set in hand. Second ace. We saw some of that action in her workout last night.
Navratilova maybe thought it was a let. You see her put her hand to her ear. She thought maybe Seles got a piece of it. But it was called an ace. Navratilova a little lucky to get away with that one because it was short. You know, this is a woman who lives and dies on her serve and net play, and she's only up around 50% effective there. It's not going to get it done.
40-15.
This first serve, she's making no impression against Seles' first serves.
They have been deep and hard and impressive.
And lefty.
And lefty, yes.
That was an off lefty serve, and it was still struck beautifully. Guided well.
40-30.
She crumpled down on that one a little bit, collapsed her shoulders, and that caused her 5th double fault. One of the few complaints I really feel she has about her comeback, her first match in 27 months.
Monica thought she might have nailed that line. Linesman saw it otherwise. point nonetheless by both players.
Navratilova very lucky to get out of this. She didn't do enough with that volley. That's what got her in trouble and kept this point going. She thought she'd carved out enough of an angle there and was very lucky that Seles just missed this, or she'd be down 4-2. Navratilova was playing the point well, then pulled up on the backhand.
And she's showing you folks at home exactly what she did as Murray described it. Advantage Seles, trying to get to 4-2 here in the second set. Another double. 6 for Seles.
Advantage Seles.
Said last night that she hopes to play at least one tournament before the U.S. Open, which she has declared for. She hasn't decided where she'll go. Options are Los Angeles or Toronto. She may play 2 tournaments before the Open, depending on how things go in the first choice.
And really, depending on how she feels after this match, she's been struggling with some tendinitis in her knees because she's been running quite a bit. She was running 4 miles a day, and it was causing some problems. So that's why she's not yet sure where she'll play or how many she'll play before the Open.
And she holds.
She still hasn't faced a break point. I mean, that's been a big problem for Navratilova. She's trying hard to attack. So she's trying hard to get herself into the net, and she just has not gotten there yet, despite the Seles double faults.
Martina serving at 2-4, down a set. Here in the second. Well, tattoos are in, so Martina's joined the pack.
Well, it's not a real one. It's one of the kind my kids stick on themselves. She says it's a chameleon. It looks like an alligator to me. Again, could not control that one. It had an awful lot of pace. Navratilova was trying to steer it to the Seles backhand side. It's very hard to change the direction of that thing as it's buzzing down over the net, topspin. You're trying to change the direction.
Love 30.
She knows exactly what to do out there, Tim. It's just that nasty application that can trip you up sometimes. Again, trying to get to that Seles backhand. Trying to stretch her. Trying to get her to take one hand off that frame.
Two break points now for Monica. Martina not happy to be in this position, and obviously not happy with the level of her play here these last few games. This is one of the great proud champions. That's just too tough. So another break for Seles, who leads 5-2 here in the second up a set.
Just off the Pacific Coast Highway, there's a place where America ends and the Pacific begins, all right outside your window. It's the Seven Gables Inn overlooking Monterey Bay. 7 gables, 14 rooms, 1 spectacular view. So if you go, bring your wide-angle lens and your Visa card, because the Seven Gables Inn will take your breath away. But they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Rarely does someone go where no one has gone before. Rarely does someone accomplish what has never been accomplished before. Rarely does an automotive system achieve a combination of advantages never achieved before. But when it does, the world tries to follow. The North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
I can definitely connect my love of nature with the work that I've done. This is a polyester bottle. There's 30 billion pounds of polyester plastic produced in the world each year. Most of that has to be disposed of. DuPont has developed technology that allows us to recycle endlessly. It actually unzips the molecule. This soda bottle perhaps it becomes a shirt that I'm wearing, or videotape, curtains, film, carpeting, fabric, audio tape. It's evergreen. The cycle can continue on and on and on.
Gentlemen, I see the future of insurance.
Where?
Right there.
To find opportunities in insurance, these guys could follow the trends.
This way?
I don't know.
Follow the financial pages.
That way?
Maybe.
Or follow the company with 70 billion in assets.
Where? Right there.
The company that's always one step ahead. ITT Hartford. For 75 years, ITT, the one to follow.
I'm Tom Snyder. On The Late Late Show this week, Tom Selleck, Corbin Burnson, Patty Davis, and more on The Late Late Show on CBS.
Welcome back to the Return of the Champions, hosted here in Atlantic City by Caesars Atlantic City, and we're at the Convention Center, just down the boardwalk from Caesars, and Monica Seles with a chance to close it out here in straight sets, serving at 5-2. Now that hurts. She made the perfect play. How often are you going to see her miss that? Not often.
And this was, Navratilova has won only 1 point against Seles' first serve. That could easily have been her second, but she chummed up the volley.
Nothing wrong with that one. 15 all.
That's what Steffi Graf was able to do against Seles when they really used to go at it, power against power. She'd force Seles to go for the one-handed shot using her own off forehand.
Her fitness guy, John Adkins, I referred to earlier, told me that he thinks that she's now getting 3 feet more on each side in terms of court coverage because of her added height and her added fitness. So just what her opponents need is more court coverage from Monica. Here's a match point for Seles. 6-3, 5-2, 40-30. Badly missed. 21-year-old champion against a 38-year-old champion. Martina jumped all over that second serve. Wide. Break point for Martina.
First one of the match for Navratilova. Seles tried 2 one-handed forehands in a row in that last rally and guided that last one wide.
Hit ball, please.
That one missed the baseline.
Yeah. That's one at your country club. You say just long. I got a grin from Monica.
What she has been working on in all the time that she's had to think about her game and think about what she wanted to do with it. She said, I'd really like to play more at the net.
Second match point. Martina acknowledging the encouragement of the crowd.
Another point won by Navratilova when she was able to stretch Seles wide on the forehand side and make her hit with one hand.
Another break point. Martina hanging in.
Seles created a good angle, but Navratilova was right there to cut it off. This gives her her second break chance. The only 2 she's had in the whole match.
Martina helping the linesman down there. Here she comes. Knocked it long for deuce.
Well, she got exactly what she wanted as well.
Advantage, Seles.
She had some second serves to jump on, but 2 of them she's just flat out missed. Another match point for Monica Seles. There it is. Wrong footing. Martina. 6-3, 6-2. The younger champion, too good, too strong, and definitely back. Two friends, 2 tennis colleagues, and Monica's already paid tribute to Martina for helping her make the decision to get back out where she belongs, on a tennis court. Pat O'Brien will be back to talk to both of these champions when we return to Atlantic City in a moment.
dice all the onions.
With everything that goes into Ragu Hearty.
I put 20 tomatoes in every jar.
It's like having a kitchen full of Italian grandmas.
The family got to love the sauce.
That's why we go to the trouble of putting in real sautéed mushrooms and onions.
It's no trouble. Put more in, more.
For that Ragu Hearty taste.
And I make sure everybody's got a smile. You like? That's nice.
Ragu Hearty. Taste what's gotten into Ragu.
I just think about a pint of ice cream and boom, there's a spoon in my mouth. When that little pint calls, I answer on the first ring. Hello. And why not? These are brand new Healthy Choice pints. Yeah, pints. Loaded with the good stuff. A chewy fudge, gooey caramel, cappuccino mocha fudge. They're rich, creamy, only 2 grams of fat. It's magic. And it's all mine. With new Healthy Choice pints, I eat what I like. Time for the big spoon.
Ever wonder how One-A-Day got the idea to make different vitamins for different people? Isn't it obvious? People have different needs. Because women need more calcium, One-A-Day Women's Formula has more than any other vitamin. For our men's formula, we increased antioxidant levels. And our 55 Plus formula has more of 8 essential vitamins than Centrum Silver. People are different. So is One-A-Day. We've got the one for you.
So you can't keep up with your old ma, huh? Not with this headache. Where's your Tylenol? Oh, it's Advil now. Mom, you never used anything but Tylenol. Well, times change. There you go. These days it's Advil for me. Is that right? Oh, yeah. See, 2 Advil work better on tough headaches than any 2 extra-strength Tylenol. Welcome to the 90s, Mom. Why, thank you.
For safe and effective pain relief, Advil. Nothing is proven to work better or last longer.
Jessica hits the Paris runways.
Your cover shot is a knockout.
But when a model is betrayed...
If you hurt her, you pay for it.
...will Ready to Wear become Murder, She Wrote. Then... a kidnapper takes 15 years to make the next move.
I want my son back.
Sybil Shepherd and John Hurd. There was a little boy.
It was love at first sight. Now all they have to do is tell their fiancés. If not for you, Mondays this fall after Murphy Brown.
She's back. Monica Seles, 6'3" and 6'2" over Martina Navratilova. And both of these great champions are down on the court with Pat O'Brien. Pat?
Hi, Tim. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for 2 great champions, huh? Yes. Martina and Monica. Well, how much of a sigh of relief is this to get this one out of the way?
Oh, major, major, major. No, I mean, I still can't believe that I'm actually doing this and I'm actually out here.
Well, you are.
I know, it's not a dream. But, I mean, it's just so exciting that, I mean, it's, you know, what I love to do, and I'm just very happy to be doing it back again. You know, that's all I've ever asked for.
This is one of those times you can say, how did it feel to walk on the court for the first time in 27 months?
Yes. Now I know how it feels to walk after, wow, I don't even know. I mean, I don't remember a thing from the time we left the locker room. I was so nervous.
What do you think? Maybe Martina should make a comeback.
I think so. I told Martina, yeah!
I think so. Well, as my future broadcast partner, what did the greatest of all time think of this?
I am just thrilled that I was a part of Monica's comeback, to be on the same court with her again. She's a great champion. The game has missed her, and it's fantastic to have her back.
How do you think she played?
Those passing shots were not a mirage. Monica, you were definitely here. You definitely hit those shots just like I remember. Going by me, time after time.
And folks, this is what... Go ahead.
You know, so 6'3", 6'2", but as usual, Monica played great on the big points. I couldn't win the close games, and that's why she's who she is. And you know, it was just fun to be out here and play in front of all these people.
And I've said that you're giving... He's the greatest. I've said that you're giving retirement a bad name. How about a comeback?
No, definitely not.
Okay, there's the no there. I know you wanted to say something to all your fans.
Well, I wanted to say, sorry.
That's fine.
The last few years, there have been quite a few people that have been just so supportive of me, and you all fans to come out back again and play in front of you and feel the electricity that the crowd gives. I miss that the most from it all, and to hit some great shots and you get going, yeah. And just want to thank you all for all your support through this time that for a long time I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but hopefully the next few years are going to be a lot better. And
Welcome back.
oh, thank you.
We'll be back in a moment with more. Thank you.
Turn it off,
Watch the arrow. Let's cut here, add sound, drop in the title, and copy it to the VCR.
Mom, it's for you.
Physical projections for Hong Kong.
Great work. Who did you hire to put this together?
I did it in-house.
Do something. You guys are having spaghetti for dinner?
Life moves pretty fast. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, stop. Look around. This is the good stuff. This is the fabric of our lives. This is cotton.
Welcome back to Atlantic City, where Monica Seles has the first one over with. 6-3, 6-2 over Martina Navratilova. This was match point, Monica.
Oh, it's just so weird seeing myself. It's weird to see the Mikey trying to stay racket, everything on me, because I haven't seen myself for such a long time. Can't believe this now. This is too much.
What was the most surprising of today? What was the easiest thing to get over with?
I think I relaxed a lot more in the second set. That was my feeling. And once I was out here, but the first, when I walked out from the locker room and out here and over from the hotel, I was so nervous and so excited. But all I asked of myself yesterday is to do my best and have fun out there. And I certainly accomplished both of them.
And at what point during the match, you started out a little nervous, right? You double fault.
Oh, yeah. What a start. But I knew that I'm going to be nervous. I was nervous the last 2 or 3 days as the build-up was coming up to it. And it's just great.
At what point during the match, Monica, did you feel like I'm back? Or did you feel that during this match? At what point did you start feeling really confident?
I think after I won the first set 6-3, that's when I kind of felt, wow, I kind of felt my strokes as in practice, and I wasn't too nervous on the shots and on Martina's serve, because Martina's serving very well. I said, just relax, and if they go in, if you pass her, great. If you do not, fine, but don't be that nervous.
What exactly are your tournament plans now? We've heard L.A., Toronto, leading up to the U.S. Open.
I'm going to try to play one tournament beforehand. I don't know 100% which one yet, but I'm definitely going to play the U.S. Open, and I do hope to play one tournament beforehand, because I think to start the Open would be impossible, too much to ask of myself.
So you think you play 1, 2? You don't know yet.
I think it's going to depend a little bit on my knee, if I can do 2 of them, and then plus the 2 weeks of the Open. But if not, I might play something that's short. But I know I have to play one. So.
Well, welcome back. Welcome home.
Thank you.
We'll see you down the road. Let's go to Jim Nance, who's out in Aurora, Illinois, with the report on the golf as Monica Seles gets one under her belt. She beats Martina Navratilova in Atlantic City, 3-2. Let's go to Jim Nance. Jim.
Plus, we go undercover 26th, 1993.
It was a moment the tennis world will never forget. The day superstar Monica Seles was stabbed by a crazed spectator.
Do you hate him?
Oh, no, not at all. No, I can't hate anybody. I'm not a person like that, no.
Tonight, the youngest #1 player in history emerges from seclusion to answer the question, will she ever compete again?
In a way, I lost everything because of the stabbing. I have to start from the scratch to get back where I was.
A
primetime undercover investigation.
4 months ago, the world watched in horror as a fan came out of the stands and drove a knife into the back of a young tennis star. Monica Seles, the teenager who made that impossible journey from a simple town in Eastern Europe to #1 player in the world. Since that day, Seles has had a lot of time to think about the game, about the cold reality of the competition. Her fellow players voted to take away her highly lucrative #1 rank. And she's also learned a little about herself and the high price of her unpredictable behavior in a very serious sport. We caught up with Seles in Florida to talk about terror, tennis, and the tough road back. It was the tennis equivalent of a nuclear strike when young Monica Seles of Yugoslavia launched those heat-seeking two-handed backhands. Those two-handed forehands. Each blast accompanied by the trademark grunt. Even as a kid, she was an unyielding competitor with an eerie, almost laser concentration. Chris Evert was the first of the old titans to fall. Martina once stopped to applaud her, saying it was like being hit by a truck. Soon the teenager had rocketed from number 88 to number 3, a girl with a giggle and a flamboyant style, tossing roses to the crowd. She was just 17 in 1991 when she grabbed the title from Germany's Steffi Graf, becoming the youngest player ever to be #1 in the world.
What is it you miss the most? Is there a certain
Oh, I miss the
sensation?
thrill. Oh, I love it when you go out there in the stadium. And just when you hit a great passing shot or a good shot, like, yeah, I hit it. It's just that feeling.
Steffi Graf tried to get the title back, but couldn't. There was no stopping Seles until that split second in Hamburg, Germany, April 30th, 4 months ago. She was playing Magdalena Maleva. It was a tough match. They were on the break between games.
I remember sitting on the bench. I was just like thinking to myself, I should change. I'm giving my opponent a little bit of too much what she liked.
As she sat there, a man moved out of the anonymous sea of spectators down toward her, and with both hands clutching his weapon, lunged.
And then suddenly I just felt like such a hard pain, like sharp pain in me. It's like, ooh. And then I wanted to touch what's in there, and I just saw blood. And then as soon as I saw blood, I was like, whoa. And then I looked back, and I saw this person holding his hand up again, like he wants to stab me. And after that, all I remember was my brother. He jumped on the court, and he was there, and he said, just stay calm. And that's all I really remember.
You don't remember getting up and moving toward the net?
Not at all. No.
Were you even conscious of sitting up on the stretcher behind?
Not at all. I just couldn't understand the whole thing. It's like, did it really happen? Is this real, or am I just still dreaming? It's like I was waiting to wake up.
Strangers in the crowd wrestled the attacker to the ground. He was a German lathe operator named Gunther Parker, who said he did it because he wanted the German player, Steffi Graf, to be #1 again. Had he stabbed a little closer to the lungs or spine, she would have been paralyzed or dead. His weapon, this 9-inch serrated boning knife. From that instant on, the #1 player in the world was out of the game. She spent 4 months in the shadows. The tabloids even offered a reward for anyone who could get a shot of her wincing on a tennis court. No one did, because she now tells us no one could.
I haven't been on a tennis court. No, I can't swing yet. So I haven't been on a tennis court yet.
She says there's a transient numbness in her fingers. She has held a racket to hit a dropped ball, but she and her father, who has been her lifelong coach, agree. Lest she undermine the old cannonball swing, until she has it perfect, she won't really start to practice.
Until a point that someone will say swing, and I'm going to swing without any pain, naturally, there's no reason to hit or do anything.
Initial reports said the wound was just 1 inch long and 1/2 inch deep. There was no infection. But her doctors here told us there are other considerations. There's no way to know the angle of the blade, how much muscle was hurt. And then there's the incalculable psychological impact of the terror. One minute, she says she'll conquer it. The next, she's a 19-year-old with a nightmare.
I didn't look at danger. I still can't. I never looked in the back mirror.
You never have?
No, I can't. It's not something that I want to do. It just reminds me too much of that when it actually happened. So I don't know how it looks from the back.
It's hard to imagine, though, that you don't sneak back out on the court.
No, I can't. No. Well, it's hard. It's very hard for me to even watch. I try to watch the French and the Wimbledon, and of course there's some other small tournaments on TV, and I just started, but it's just very hard.
Just the memories. Which is going to be harder, the physical comeback or the psychological one?
Both are going to be hard. I have to deal with both of them. I mean, tennis is something that I love to do. I play tennis since age 7, and to get to be at a position where I am, oh boy.
Does it flash back a lot just on its own?
I mean, it does pretty much, because I was in a tennis match when this happened. I was doing something that I love, and I never ever expected something like this to happen. And whenever I think about it, it's just very hard.
And there was something else Seles had to face after the stabbing, something about fairness and friendship. Her peers had a choice about her #1 rank. They could have put her in a special category until she was ready to play again. But in an unprecedented vote, the overwhelming answer was no. Seles was out on her own. In effect, the stabber would get what he wanted. A month later, Steffi Graf was once again #1.
For me, why it's so hard to understand is because this was the reason that he stabbed me, or he wanted to kill me, whatever. So Steffi could be a #1.
So you're saying whatever it was, if there had been some consideration, even a symbolic consideration, for the intent of this attacker.
Yeah. You know, some consideration or something, just so when I come back, I mean, I don't know where they're going to put me. Am I going to play qualifying, or am I going to be unseated, or whatever? So if I do decide to come back, I just wonder about that.
Didn't you hope for solidarity of some kind?
I was surprised, but I just felt some consideration would be nice.
But the tennis world always regarded Seles as an outsider. Some thought she was too flashy and self-promoting, using tennis as a springboard to celebrity.
Not gonna fill out.
The giddy teen who said she was going to be an actress.
I'm not giving up my acting lessons.
And already played the star, trying out new hairstyles, new clothes, new looks, and making no excuses.
I think as a #1 ranked player, when I was #1, what I learned is that anything you do is much bigger than if you were #20 in the world, or so.
Do you still think about acting?
Oh, I said this when I was 15.
In 1991, she compounded the blunders of youth and inexperience by canceling out of Wimbledon just 3 days before the tournament, leaving the royalty of England and of tennis in the lurch. She hid out, melodramatically refusing to explain herself, emerging only in a bizarre photo with her family in wigs. There were rumors of sickness, pregnancy, a romance with Donald Trump. The Tennis Association leveled a fine, and at the next Grand Slam tournament, the U.S. Open, the crowd booed.
When you look back at Wimbledon, you say to yourself, why didn't I just come out and say everything right away to everybody and get it done?
Yeah, I'm very competitive. Maybe a little bit too competitive, and it's very hard for me to admit to myself that I have to pull out. And over there, I didn't want to face the reality.
Her doctors told us the reality was a pre-stress fracture. It went away when they redesigned her shoes. Last year, when she did show up at Wimbledon, the tabloids were lying in wait with their humiliating gruntometer. Her fellow players chimed in, complaining about the sound until the All England Club reviewed the situation and ruled that after all these years, Miss Seles was just too loud. Seles stopped grunting, but lost the tournament.
I've been doing this for 4 years, and nobody ever said a thing at any tournament, and I let it bother me too much, and I wish I didn't. I could have played a better match at least.
Did it feel sometimes you couldn't do anything right?
A few times, yeah, but if you think about it, you know, I mean, if I wear a black shirt, are they going to think I'm now always depressed, and that's why I wear black? If I wear white, then, oh, why is she wearing white?
After the stabbing, fans and players rallied to her side, and Seles said she'll always be grateful, even though every now and then someone takes another swipe at her, saying 4 months is a long time. There are questions and some completely wild rumors about what's really keeping her off the court.
They said you were a basket case.
Yeah.
They said you had put on tens of dozens of pounds, which is clearly a terrible problem you have. There is a sense among some people that this was a minor injury and that if you wanted to, you could just bound right back tomorrow. In fact, Mary Carrillo...
Even former player and commentator Mary Carrillo had something to say in the London Sunday Times.
She said, specifically, she's going to milk this sucker dry. Tennis is just a stepping stone. Her real goal is being a star.
Okay, milk the sucker then, what is that?
Meaning that you like the drama of
okay.
this and that it's not real.
It's so unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they realize how hard it is for me not being there at any in these tournaments. But I think, you know, it's until somebody's not stabbed, I don't think they know the feeling of it.
So Monica Seles spends her days running and working out. She says her legs are getting stronger than ever, but her upper body work is still light. She has also spent time with other stab victims to learn how they deal with trauma. But what about her legendary concentration? Can you ever really block out the memory of someone lurking over your shoulder?
I was always a strong person mentally, and this is that's another hurdle that I just have to jump over.
When do you think you'll be back?
Back on the circuit, that I don't know, but back on the court, I do hope soon.
Like days?
Oh, I don't think that's soon. That's a little bit unrealistic, but going to competition is a whole different story because I haven't hit a ball. How am I going to do? I don't think anybody knows if I'll be at the same level. That's only time is going to tell that.
If you're not, will you just quit?
Oh, no. I'm not a quitter, no, in anything. That's not in my book. I love this game, and I just love to play it, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. As soon as that happens, I'll be the first one who's going to say to everybody, hey, I'm back on the court, and I'm practicing, and I'm happy, and I made it through.
Since the stabbing, security at tennis tournaments has been beefed up. They even used metal detectors at the French Open. Monica Seles' assailant, Günter Parker, has been charged with causing grievous bodily harm. He's being held for trial, possibly in October. It's expected he will be sent to a mental institution. Also, we asked Seles if she were going to watch the U.S. Open. She said she'll watch the early rounds, but probably not the semis or the finals because she would only be thinking, I should be there.
Sports. A conversation with Monica Seles, a CNN sports special.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our CNN Sports Special, a conversation with Monica Seles. I'm Tom Kirkland. On Friday, we spent the day with the now former #1 women's tennis player in the world, walking the beach in Florida, working out, eating ice cream, even talking to the animals at a jungle habitat. You'll see it all in the next half hour. Now, on Monday, of course, the U.S. Open championships begin, but Seles won't be there to go after her third straight title. Matter of fact, there's serious doubt about the world's best player returning to tournament play anytime this year. The happy-go-lucky 19-year-old has been neither happy nor lucky here in '93. all because of a twist of fate from a twisted mind on a balmy spring day in Hamburg, Germany.
I felt something inside just too well. It's too good.
It was April 30th. Working off the rust from an 8-week layoff due to illness, Seles was leading her quarterfinal match with Magdalena Maleva 6-4, 4-3 when a routine court change turned into terror. Seles was attacked from behind by a crazed fan of number 2 in the world, Steffi Graf. The blow from a 9-inch boning knife ripped into her back below the left shoulder blade, tearing muscles just left of the spine. Stunned, shocked, then horrified, Seles collapsed on the clay court. This teenager who ruled tennis for 2 years had been stalked and finally reached by 38-year-old unemployed machinist Günter Parke, who said his wish was to see fellow German Graf reclaim the #1 ranking. After 4 months of tearful reflection, of physical and emotional anguish, Seles is still trying to rebuild her life, trying to pick it up somewhere forward of where she left off. Only this week has she felt strong enough to talk about it.
I'm feeling fine. It's been a while since it happened, so it's a lot easier for me to talk about it. And
do you think it's made it a little easier now that you've started to talk about it?
A lot easier. I felt there's like a big weight off my shoulder a couple days ago when I first talked about it. It was very hard, and a month ago I couldn't even talk about it. Even my dad would want to talk to me, just, you know, is everything okay? And it's still hard, but I do have to put it behind me, I think, for me to go on. But I think as soon as I'm going to be able to hit a ball and just go back to the schedule that I had, it's going to make it easier. Now I have too much time to think a lot of days, and that's not good.
Can you take us back to Hamburg, to that day? It was interesting to me that you had just come back after a long illness, and things must have been, you must have really been excited and happy and feeling pumped. And
all I remember was, I mean, I don't even remember sitting down because I sit down so often that it's such a routine that I just thought of the match, that I'm giving Maggie just too much pace and she likes this, and okay, it's 4-3, let's try to finish the match here. And just I was almost ready to leave and I just felt something in my back, and then I touched in the back of it, and then I saw blood, and then and then my brother jumped in, and he was saying, just stay calm, everything is going to be fine. And then everybody, and I just turned back a second, and I just saw this man who was holding a knife and just had it high up, and there's another guy choking him or trying to get the knife away from him. Said, what just happened here? And all I remember was just my brother stay calm, and through the whole time, and my parents were not there to match, so I was lucky that my brother was there, because what he was able to do, I think, for me is just, he kept me just concentrating on one thing. So I just, I asked him, what happened? He said, don't worry, just stay calm. And I was lucky that he was there, so.
What was it? I know there's a picture from a magazine at the time taken, and there's a look of absolute terror and wonder in your, when you turned around and saw and realized that someone, you had to realize that someone had attacked you. You knew it wasn't.
No, I saw the guy. I mean, I felt the impact of somebody just really going up and going into me, and by instinct, I jumped forward, and then I turned back, and I just saw this person with a knife, and I felt, and just millions of thoughts run through my, why did he just do something, or then at the same time I seen the blood, and then my brother jumps in, and everybody just jumps, and they're like, and I never thought ever that something like this would happen. I mean, it's just, and I just thought, whoa, what happened? And then I just saw my brother, and since that, just told me to, don't worry, and that's all I kind of remember.
He said that he
didn't mean to kill. He was just trying to disable you, and the whole thought that something like that over a #1 ranking.
I just felt that if that was his case, why did he want to stab me the second time? If you stab somebody, I'm sitting in a chair thinking about a match. I have no chance of knowing somebody's behind me. Not even in my wildest thoughts would I ever think that this is what's going to happen. He has a clear shot. He missed about this much from taking me out of probably, I mean, forever. And why would he go a second time? I think one time would have been enough for him to make sure, yeah, he took me out. But I can't, you know, it happened, and I do. Now when I go back, I just have to think, you know, hopefully I'll be able to do more with my game maybe if I wouldn't have done beforehand. So I just have to look at the positive, because it's too sad when I look at the negative part of it. So.
Have you, in your own way, forgiven him?
I cannot really hold anything against somebody. It's hard to, you know, forgive somebody for something that he has done, and how much time he has taken out, I mean, of my career. But, I mean, that's life, and I have to leave it there and just go on, so. But I can't stay mad at somebody, no, it's not my nature.
Does a day go by when you don't think of it in some way?
Yeah, there are days, yeah. But something always reminds me of it. If I'm home and I just look into a corner where let's say I leave my rackets or balls, it's like, ooh, can you watch this weird? Because I would be at tournaments now, and here I'm in Florida or in jail or wherever, and it's August, and this is not what I'm supposed to be. And I don't know why I'm here, and that's for me just very hard to understand.
What is that feeling when you look at the racket and you say, ooh, what does ooh mean?
Well, I thought about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I first held the grip of the racket just as I won lose the whole feeling of it, and it felt very weird, like, whoa, did I ever play this sport for a second? And then the more I held it, felt fine, you know. I'm nervous as anybody would be. How am I going to feel when I first come back and hit a ball, because I haven't hit for so long, and no matter, I can keep myself physically in shape, but still the feeling has to be there when I go out there. So it's hard, and I try not to look at the racket. I mean, I have it in a corner that I usually don't open. I haven't opened it maybe once or twice. So I'll open it when I'm already 100%. Then I could say I'm going out and can take everything out on a ball.
Her attacker is awaiting trial in Germany, charged with attempting to do grievous bodily harm. There's little doubt about the outcome of the trial, but what price he'll pay is the subject of much speculation. And he feels Gunther Parker will end up in a mental institution. As for Seles, physically, it's still wait and see. While the upper body's mending, Monica's wearing out the leg machines, but it's hardly no sweat. Our conversation goes into the gym next. After the attack, Seles allowed precious few visitors into her hospital room in Hamburg. Of course, her brother and parents were bedside right throughout. And while some of the other players asked to stop by, Monica preferred privacy. Then Steffi Graf just showed up. What followed was a most unique meeting between 2 of tennis's coolest customers.
It was very emotional, and I was very sure it was like 2 minutes or something, but both of us, as I remember, didn't say a single word. We were just both crying. It was very hard on both of us, and it was hard, I think, on her also, because, I mean, just what happened. I don't think she ever wished for this to happen to anybody. I mean, Steffi's just, she always does her work on court, and and she's just an unbelievable competitor and an athlete. But I just felt, you know, if he could maybe call me once or twice instead and just ask me how am I, or how is everything going. But, you know,
That's tennis?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, Well, when I first became #1, I always felt that everybody wanted that position. Beforehand, I was #3. A little bit easier around a lot of people on, but that is normal because everybody wants to be the best.
You've been playing since you were 7, something like that?
7,
and now, for 4 or 5 months, it's been... You've never faced this before.
No.
How much do you miss that?
Well, the first time I didn't play for about 4 to 5 weeks was Wimbledon '91, and then this year, about when I had the virus.
But you always knew then it would
Always
be...
knew
and now...
this, and always knew that I'll come back. I'll have the feeling, all the fingers and everything. Always, it's not going to get numb if I hold something too long. But there's always a doubt coming in your mind, and when I talked to somebody, they said it's normal. That will I be able to be as good as I was before, and how will I hit when I go on the court? And my answer to myself to that is that I always practice very hard, and if I'm going to practice hard, I'm going to be very eager when I go back. I'll have that with me at least. It's going to take a lot of months. I told myself not to be impatient. That was one of the hard things when I'm in therapies, that you do every day a lot of repeated work, and after a month it gets hard because there's not much variety that I could do with my shoulder. And now it's getting better, and I can do a lot of more smaller drills to get used to the tennis footwork and everything. And maybe in some way my legs can get a little stronger. Aerobically, I'll be a little bit stronger. That's about it.
Do you play mind games when you're rehabbing, when you're doing Stairmaster? And I mean, what's the little lullaby you're singing to yourself?
I tried. Well, if I don't have the TV in front of me, then of course I watch a program where I do the music. But I imagine just the fun times up to now. I think back a lot to 1990 French Open. How different it was then, and how I looked at a lot of things differently. How much I have grown in a way since that. Then I think back to '89 when I beat, I won my first tournament in Root. I beat Chrissy to that one, and just how many years have passed since that. Then I think, gee, I'm 19 and I have a very close family. They've always been there, and I just always try to look positive because especially lately, the negative thoughts just always want to come in. Why me? Why am I in a way being punished that I can't play these tournaments?
You've obviously physically paid a price, but emotionally it's been...
Yeah, very hard.
None of us we can imagine it, but nobody can really...
Yeah. Even when I talk to other people who've been stabbed, we talk about the impact, how we feel at a point. It's hard for them to talk also, and for me, but in a way I feel comfortable because I know that they know the feeling of it. And there's this one lady, she said it happened to her about 20 years ago, and she said for 15 years she still felt, not everyday basis, the impact of it on her. And it's hard, why me, why then? What if I wouldn't have played Hamburg? But then supposedly he was following me for a long time, so then I think it happened. But I'm gonna go on in my life, is put it in the year in my mind, 93, and remember it. I mean, life is not gonna always go up, and I knew that when I was doing so well in tennis. A lot of times I would be feeling scared. It's going too well. When is the bad coming? And now when it came, I tried telling myself, this is not bad. I'm lucky that I can hit a ball. If by this much he would gone, I could have maybe never hit a ball again. And I look at that and I think, yeah, at least I can do that. So.
Monica told me she hopes to start ripping that little fuzzy soon, but absolutely not until she's completely pain-free. Certainly she hopes to be back by the Australian Open in January. How's she getting through all this? We'll talk about all that next. At age 7, moved over to the United States when she was 12. She told me if she had it all to do over again, she'd wait a few years. Life in tennis's fast lane is too much. What with traveling 11 months of the year, it certainly stunts the growth of real friendships.
In a way, it's very hard because no matter now when I could spend some time in a city for 4 months, which I haven't done since 1989, I realized that I cannot have the same friendships that when I travel, because if I would leave for Europe for 2 months, or even this year to Australia, I would come home in a month and a half, and everything where I left it with my friends, they were on to totally new things. And I would be thrown in there for a week again with them. By the time I caught up halfway, okay, I'm moving to Chicago. And now, well, I didn't get a chance. Some of them visited me there, but I couldn't come here to Florida. And I did realize that I did miss that in a sense. And it's tough to traveling, just city to city. But there's always something, and I talk to other younger players, but there's always something that, you know, if you like something and you're dedicated, you have to have a little sacrifice, and that's mine. If I could change it, it would be spend home a little more and travel a little less, but I might be able to do that. My schedule, my tournaments a little differently, and hopefully won't have to play as many tournaments every year. But
who's been right there for you in this?
Oh, my parents and my brother. They have always been there, because just from the beginning. And for me, it was very hard when they first came to the hospital. I thought, gee, why am I putting them through this? And for them, we
You
would
really
talk a
thought,
lot.
why am I putting them through this?
That was,
you had been stabbed.
Yeah, and I just thought, why? And is this all worth it? I mean, this whole thing for them. And for them, what's been hard is they say, gee, I mean, we never imagined, Monica, that this is what you would have to take to be a #1 player. Would it be, when I was 17, all the rumors in the press, or just about everything? And then also, I think here, for them, they felt like, gee, what did we bring her into this? And I just said, I mean, it's not their fault. I love this game, and I'm going to keep playing it as long as I like it. I never played it for my dad. I never played it to be #1. I play it because I love it, and I love when I go out there and I hit a ball and I get the enjoyment. Gee, this is such a great shot, but maybe I can do it a little bit better. But there've been a lot of, when we talk, all of us got emotional, and it's been, I don't, if they wouldn't have been here, or if I wouldn't have had a close family, it's been even harder. And because they're nice, and I wake up and I think, geez, you know, what am I doing?
Have you awakened and gone and talked to them? Or
yes, I did.
Run into their room like when we were all three?
I woke them up and I think, gee, you know, I don't know what happened here. I only ever wanted to be a tennis player, and that's what I started out to be, and that's why I'm here. And I never thought that there would be so many other things in life that I would have to think about. But, you know, my dad says, you know, you'll be wiser, I guess, each year. And that's true. I learned each year something. And I was saying, when I'll be 23, I look back now, I'll think, well, I learned. So,
certainly hard lessons of life at the top from a woman who's rolled with the punches on and off the court. Our conversation with Monica wraps up in a moment with birds of a different feather and a shopping binge.
Put your arms straight out and put them on your arm.
All right, Andy. Victims of a terrible trauma like the one Seles is coping with will not lose any of their love of life. Monica's youthful spontaneity was never more evident than we strolled the streets of New York City 2 years ago after she won her first U.S. Open. It was her favorite kind of day, shop until you drop. From window shopping at Tiffany's to sampling the many stuffed species at FAO Schwartz. We can only hope the attack in Hamburg hasn't cost her that refreshing innocence.
I do hope it's always going to be there. It's just, when I think about that time, that day, then I lose it. Then I get into sadness for it. But as soon as somebody tells me something, or I'm around people that I feel comfortable and everything, then it's back. I always hope, even if I get to age 50, I'll still have a part of me that's a kid, and never lose that, because it's, I mean, you should go through life as fun, no matter when it will end, or just enjoy every day, and that's the one thing I tell myself, and make the best of it, and laugh more, and be a little more, just not take it so serious. I do take it a little too seriously, but hopefully I'll be able to do that. So, and I'm still so young. It's for me weird because a lot of times I feel like I'm a lot older.
I think people
but
see that in you, that they've
and
seen you for so long, they think you're 30 or 40.
they might get to be my friends and then we talk about things that, or just be around them, and she and I think, wow, I mean, she still very young. A few more years to be, you know, no. But a lot of times it doesn't feel like it some days, or when some incidents happen, you're thinking, wow, whoa, this is hard. I have to be happy, and that's the thing. I live with me every day, so.
It's not such bad company. That wraps up our conversation with Monica. Thanks very much for being a part of it. Good day, everybody.
Bananas. More than the scoops are
Presentation of CNN Sports.